in Saka's position and actually adding some goals, assists to his name. Now he's got injured, which is a real shame for him because this was his time to shine.
It's peak for us, man. As a fellow Martinelli lover, yeah, do you think his season, what was it, 2022, 23? Do you think that was a purple patch in hindsight?
No, I don't think it was a purple patch. I think that he came in the team in a different role,
True.
and now the team is designed around Saka. The system is designed around Saka. There's a reason why we invert from the left and not the right. It's because of Saka, and that's my belief. That's the way I see it. So Martinelli is doing a really good job as a system player. There's so many players in world football that are more system based than individual based, and Martinelli is very selfless in what he gives to the system.
I think you're bang on the money. My last question for you then, how confident are you that we're actually going to address all areas in the summer, whether that's a striker, a centre mid, a left winger, and then I'd band it under like just overall depth, because we are getting the think pieces out again about war chess and we're going to do this, that, and the third.
Yeah. Well, look, Jorginho's going in summer. His contract is up, right? Which I'm very glad about because he's been fine for us, but he's not that mobile, dynamic, hard-hitting midfielder.
We need better. Respectfully,
we need better. Yeah, we do exactly that. We do. Because Jorginho is a very good player at what he does, but he's not very good at things that he's not good at.
Time catches up with all of us. It's cool. It's just you need to move on from it now.
Never been the most agile, etc. So it is what it is. I don't see Marino being the player that can say, "Okay, I'm the new Jorginho" in terms of doing what Jorginho.
I'm with you with that 1,000,000%.
Yeah, I actually think Jorginho, I'd rather he comes on than Marino because what Jorginho is good at, he's really good at, Whilst Marino, I think he's more of a jack of all trades.
So yeah, you're like 5 and 6 at everything. You're not really excelling at nothing.
Yeah, he's not bad at anything, but not great at anything. So Zubimendi, for me, he needs to come in and be our tempo setter.
Facts.
And there's a debate. I'd ask you, Declan Rice, is he better as a 6 or an 8 in your view?
Do you know what? Obviously, Declan Rice's bread and butter is a 6. He always refers to it, but I must admit, I think at the moment he looks quite good in the 8. My only thing with him is you've never been that. Like, you're not going to be Michael Carrick. You're not going to be Frank Lampard. You're not going to be Gerrard. I know statistically he's improving, but how much blood from a stone are we going to get? One thing I give Rice is he's taken to it as good as he can. And I do think something I want to see from Odegaard, at least when things are going left for us, not to disrespect Odegaard, but Rice kind of takes it on the chin, on his shoulders, and he wants to make a difference. It's a mixed one. I must admit, Mo, Arteta is converting me to that, but I sometimes think just play players in their best positions. But you mentioned Zubimendi. If Zubimendi arrives, you never know of Arteta, but if Zubimendi arrives, Rice is surely in the 8. Zubimendi's a 6.
And also, when you're playing in that 8 role, you do think about what's behind you.
Exactly.
Right? And that gives you confidence. So even as a centre back, your confidence to go and attack the ball is based on who's behind you. You see how Liverpool press.
Yeah, that's a good point.
In the league, do you know what I mean? Like, all of these things are connected. Like, I'm talking about Saka, and I'm referring to the inverted left back. All of these things are connected on the pitch. If we get Zubimendi, who's like in a Cazorla image in terms of being able to set a tempo and being like press resistant,
this is what we need.
I think that gives Declan Rice all of the confidence he needs to go and really express himself in an 8. Right now, we don't have that. Thomas Partey, some games I've seen him, and I've been thinking we need to move you on. Other games I've seen, I'm like, you've been brilliant. Like, he gets
the last 2 games we played sums it up. Like, Boss City ran against Newcastle. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. So with him, he's not doing it consistently enough, and that's why I feel like we need to address that central area of the pitch. And I'd love to see Zubimendi come in, and we also need to go and get a striker. Give me Zubimendi and Sesko in the summer. I'm happy.
I'm with you. You don't think we need a left winger, whether that's Nico Williams, this one, that one, and the third, or do we persist with Martinelli and Trossard, or even Ethan over there?
Yeah. Nwaneri could do a job there, but he's so good at cutting in. Like, I don't.
It's cash money, that shot.
Yeah. I don't know where his best position is yet. If I had to guess, I'd be saying off the right. And also, we could go and get Nico Williams, for example, which obviously I would love. He's a great player. But is the system still going to curtail the flair and the attributes of a left winger? Because I don't know if anyone listening disagrees with me on that, but that's what I believe our system is. It's like the old school view of a manager saying to both of his fullbacks, never should both of you be past the halfway line. Only one of you, right? And it's the same thing here, where with Saka, it's like, and Saka and Martinelli, you're not meant to be doing the same things. You've got slightly different roles in the team. So we can go and get Nico Williams. He can come in for Martinelli. But if he's asked to do the same job as Martinelli,
you're going to look like him.
Yeah, in a way, do you know what? It's a bit of a weird one, right? I feel like on the left-hand side, we need a really diligent player like Martinelli, but who's a better dribbler and a better one-on-one attacker. So, like a Jeremy Doku springs to mind, a player in
Mm.
that mold. Doku doesn't have the discipline of a Martinelli, though. So I'm always thinking, like, who out there is like, we need the best dribbler on the planet. Maybe even like a
But who?
Matoma,
Like,
a Adama Traore. Obviously he's got no end product, so we can't.
just in
But
terms of what he wants to do. Now, I think people
yeah,
will understand.
because when Martinelli gets that ball, like I remember Mark Overmars back in the day, right? The way he would do it is very simple. He would just knock it past you and run, but he
He's
was
just on his
so
bike,
effective with
yeah.
it. We need someone that's more effective in the one-on-ones on the left-hand side, because that's how that player in this Arsenal system is going to get joy in that position. Even Bukayo Saka, he doesn't just always roast a man. It's because he's got people around him. He's got Ben White and Ødegaard in close proximity where he can play off of them, run in behind.